Okay, welcome back. Last time we finished off Smile Hirosaka and King Leo's riddle now pointed us towards Yumezaki. The riddle mentioned El Dorado, so our next target is gold. Gold, huh? Could this be the next target, or where else could it be? Let's just hurry up and get inside. So, we're gonna search through gold today. Okay, we'll trust Tatsuya's instincts. There's no use hemming and hawing over it anymore. Let's go. Okay, so, off we go into gold. Isn't security here a little too tight if we need a current member to vouch for us just to take a peek inside? Kinda, yeah. We're pretty lucky that Maya's roommate has a membership. I apologize for the wait. You're the ones Miss Ulala Serizawa referred to us, right? Please go on in. Cool, off we go. Looks like Ulala's here. I should stop by the boxing ring and tell her to evacuate. Well, let's go and do that. Ciao, Maya. What's with the high school entourage? They don't look like they're here to box. So this is Ulala Serizawa, Maya's friend Maya's friend who works a lingerie company, a quick-tempered beauty who's frustrated by her bad luck with men. About that. Huh? You're kinda young to be going senile, Maya. Come on, there's no way there'd be bombs here. I don't blame you for being skeptical, but it's true. There's no time. Hurry and get out of the gym. Well, that's one way to find out about it. Seriously? Huh? What's this? Isn't that a detonator? You weren't kidding about the bomb thing? Tell me again, what's going on, Maya? Like I said, there's no time. All I can say, if I sure, is that this organization called the Masked Circle set them. Masked Circle? That I've heard of. Makimura used to talk about them all the time. Let me guess, he's out for my blood now? Sounds like the time has come to put these fists to use. He took my savings, but I won't let him take my life. Okay, and with that, off she goes. There she goes. I hope she remembers to get out of the gym. Anyway, now that we know that this is the next target, we don't have a second to lose. Let's find that transmitter. Okay. She packs a punch. Once this business is over, I'd like to go a few rounds with her. Ulala loses it when it comes to that guy. Though I don't blame her. He was a con artist after all. I wonder if they have Jeet Kundo classes here. Hey, Tatsuya, do you know that Jeet Kundo is the origin of MMA? Cool. Her strength was amazing. I thought she was boxing to lose weight, but she was dead serious about it. Okay, let's talk to all these people. 1, 2, 1, 2. My goal is to lose 60 pounds, and I don't have time to run. Okay, I feel like running could help you, but okay. Is it true someone set bombs around this club? Yep. Even a club like this has become a target for terrorists? What am I doing standing here? I need to evacuate everyone! Okay, thanks. Thanks for doing the job for me, and also, apologies if that gasp came out louder than needed. Okay, let's investigate this supply closet, see if there's anything in here. Oh, well. That could have been bad. A barbell? This isn't funny. I'd be dead if that had landed on me. Thanks, Tatsuya. I owe you one. Okay, let's see what everyone has to say. There's bombs everywhere. We don't have time to disarm them all. Okay, Maya just says the same thing. Understandably so. Detonator, detonator. Nothing but detonators. This is getting on my nerves. No riddles or transmitters here. Sheesh. I wish they'd put up some kind of sign to let us know where they are. Yeah, but then I wouldn't have to run through the entire place and, you know, puzzle solve, I guess. Okay, I did see that there's an item marked on my map, so let's go and pick that up. What is Gandharva weak to again? You're weak to water, right? Yes. Gandharva is weak to water. So we are going to go for Aquas and just probably wipe that out in one. Then let's go for let's go Magnara, Fire Breath. Fire Breath obviously is going to be super helpful here. And then we can have Ikichi go back to using Hela. And then we can go Magnara again. I'm coming to realize I have an awful lot of party members who just use Magnara. Or just Earth magic in general. I also just realized I did not turn animations back off, so I guess we're seeing animations for this fight. But on the plus side, this shouldn't take too long. I imagine we'll get a good amount of damage out on all of the Krakens. I think these things are Krakens. Yeah, they must be because we see Kanalua in... I know Kanalua's like roughly level 27 or 28. So I imagine we'll see that in either the next dungeon or maybe the one after. Either way. Okay, that actually hit Tatsuya for more damage than I expected it to. I don't remember what the combination is for it though, which is a little bit inconvenient. I would quite like to get, I think it's called like Loazu Lefu or something. It's basically a giant fire area effect attack. So, realistically, now that I actually sit and think about it, now that I'm kind of like verbalizing it, I should look at what I did for Maxi Tempest and see if I can, you know, basically think of a fire equivalent. Okay, Lisa levels up and hits level 21. I should probably give her a persona that doesn't just boost up her agility even more. And we find an agility incense. Okay. So I believe that would just be a boost to my agility if I, you know, level up with it. Can I run away? Yes, I can. Let's go! I feel like my ability to run away from fights in this game is an absolutely wild coin flip every single time I play this game. I feel like sometimes I'll load the game and it'll be like, cool, you can run away from every fight every time. And then sometimes it'll be like, no, 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 no. You aren't getting out of this fight for a while. Okay, so let's go for Hammer and take out the Lich. Then Yukino. Okay, we have double PS. Is that going to hit twice? I don't think it will, but let's go for it anyway. And then I can go for fire attacks. I can go for fire attacks. We can go for Magnara. And then Lisa can go for Atomic Bufula on Pyrojack. Will it do a whole lot of damage? Honestly, I'm not really expecting it to. But hey, we'll find out. Magic Seal, that's basically just a silence. And that actually kind of worked out perfectly for me. And does Fire Breath finish? Fire Breath does finish one of them off. However, Maya can't cast now, which is a little bit of an inconvenience for me. Because obviously, I quite like being able to, you know, do stuff. And, okay, so Maya just attacks. They didn't do anything. Either way, Fire Breath isn't going to do anything for Pyrojack, but Magnara, they resist Earth? Oh, they must have cast something that made it so they wouldn't take magic damage. Or at least would reduce their magic damage taken. That's the combination of words I'm looking for. Reduce their magic damage taken. Let's try Wing Flare. Then let's just go for Magnara again. Then Lisa can switch over. Lisa can switch over using Iris just for now. And we can cast we can cast Aquas, because that would make even more sense. And we definitely kill at least one this turn. And I don't know why it turned the battle animations back on, because I didn't press the button to, but hey, that's fine. Either way, hopefully Kinish Kakmo should be enough to... That did not do as much damage as I thought it would. Either way, I feel pretty confident saying we finish them off this turn, or maybe the turn after. Because Aquas will do a massive chunk of damage. Oh no! I feel bad now having... I feel bad having heard that Pyrojack just says bye-bye when you defeat it. I feel kinda bad about that. But hey, that's fine. We got quite a lot of experience there. So let's go Strength, Vitality, Dexterity, and Maya got a boost to, whatchamacallit, to Agility. Maybe I should put points into, whatchamacallit, 50,000 yen? We just came in here and just took that much money? That's kind of insane. And also, like, comically unethical. Like, hey, this place is getting evacuated. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, here's us just kind of wandering on through, just like, hey, there's money in this locker. Like, that's so mean. That is so uncalled for. Okay, so, well, that made Pyrojack mad. Decision-making abilities. Wow, it actually worked? Okay.
You picking a fight?
Okay, Hydro Boost, I'll leave that, that's fine. Fire Breath does good damage to all three Pyrocas, killed one of them. Maginara finishes off a second. Aquas hits Pyrojack for a good chunk. And let's just run that turn back. Aguilar hits for decent damage. Gravity finishes off Pyroca. Maginara finishes off Pyro. Wow, that didn't kill it. Okay, now we'll go for a Hydro Boost. Mostly because Tatsuya would have used a fire move otherwise. Which is absolutely uncalled for. That was completely overkill. Okay, so, also, pretty much, my entire strategy right now is I'm kind of just looping around the kind of outside. I'm basically just looping around the outside of the entire area, just to make sure that I'm not missing any locker rooms or anything. Because I know that in the locker rooms will be where I'll find, you know, kind of hidden items and stuff. And I would quite like to get items if I can. Also, it is kind of funny how if you just don't... If you have the animations off, if you have the animations skip on, you'll basically just not see things happen. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, they're doing something, and then you won't see anything happen because it just makes it look like nothing occurred. Okay, Iris hits rank 7, that's very nice. And after a certain point, obviously my personas will kind of max out. And after another certain point, they'll kind of reach a point where I don't need them anymore. And at that point, that's when you can turn them back into stuff. Like, they can get... Oh, we got something here. Finish Kakmo. Learned Fray. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a nuclear move that will hit everything. Like, it'll hit all enemies. And not just a group of enemies, which is very welcome. Okay, it appears that this training room is not anything... Is nothing in particular. Like, there's nothing in particular here. Okay, Rasputin, I remember you, buddy. I remember you. Are you weak to anything? And, well, magic related. No, you're just weak to getting punched in the face. Got it. Got it. As are many people, he's weak to getting punched in the face. I mean, to be fair, look, I'm not above, you know, being weak to being punched in the face. It's something I would quite like to avoid, to be totally honest. So let's do all that. That should probably be enough to kill him. And then I can switch back out to... Actually, let's have Akichi switch to Longmare. And then we can cast Ice Breath on the Pyrojacks. And then Lisa can cast Aquas on one of the Pyrojacks, and we should be able to finish off the entire fight next turn. Okay, Mahama didn't do anything. Fantastic. Double PS does a good chunk. Tatsuya finishes him off. Ice Breath lands. Okay, I guess that must have blocked the attack. Yeah, that one must have been blocking. And now we should be good to finish him off of this turn. Sorry, Pyrojack, but right now, you gotta go, buddy. And I do feel kind of bad about that because I'm a big fan of Pyrojack. I mean, I mentioned in a previous episode, I just like all the Jack Bros. Like Pyrojack, Jack Frost, Pyrojack, Jack Frost, Black Frost. Honestly, they're pretty much the only ones that really are consistently turning up in most of the games. But hey, they're good eggs. Okay, let's see what's in the trainer room, if anything. Anything interesting in here? Ikichi? You think he's trying to say paranoid? Okay, what's he saying then? When you look at how these bombs are set, it's detailed to the point of being neurotic. Don't you think that's strange? What do they call people like that lion guy? Polaroid? No, that's a type of picture, Ikichi. Ugh. Oh, Tatia, don't sniff that. There's an ungodly stinky pair of socks in it. Well, Vega was one bomb. Hey, Lisa, you okay? Now I'm pissed. I'll never forgive those masked circle goons. I'll let loose my special drop kick on their asses. Lisa, we both know you aren't gonna drop kick anyone. Like, if you would do that move at any point in the game, please let me know, because I've never seen it, and this is my third or fourth playthrough. Oh! Oh, he's dead. Absolutely tanked it. Hey, you saved Maya when this happened, so why not me? Good question, Akichi. Cause it didn't even do any damage. No, Lisa, we're just leaving that. We're leaving that. You know what would be useful? A persona that could search for transmitters. I wonder if we can ask Igor to make one for us. I'm sick of these weird traps everywhere. That King Leo is getting on my nerves, for I've always been mad at him, really. So, Yukino's saying that, but realistically, a Navigator could do that. Like, if we had Fuke or Rise or Futaba with us, yeah, they probably could. I say that, but when this game is taking place, Rise would have been like, I think Rise would be 4 or 5. Yeah, Rise would be like 5. Futaba wouldn't be born yet. And Fuka would be 6 or 7, depending on when in the year her birthday is. So, yeah. The Navigators wouldn't be too much help, but, you know, having their type of persona definitely would be. Okay, one of those guys is healing, but honestly, I don't particularly care. Fire Breath does good damage to all of them, and Ice Breath finishes... Ice Breath did not finish them off. You know what, let's just run that turn back, because I imagine I'd probably kill them all this turn. Honestly, so, just a reminder that the Masked Circle people, I assume these are supposed to be people, so I don't know why they make sounds like that. Anyway, but yeah, so Navigators aren't really something that you get until Persona 3. But hey, Yukino may be onto something with the general concept of like, hey, could Igor make a Persona for us that would do that? I mean, you know, potentially. But there's never anyone in this game who's doing that, because realistically, well, this game is barely voice acted. There's voice acting for a few lines here and there and a couple of cutscenes, but generally there's not a whole lot of voice work going on in this game, which is a little bit unfortunate because even though I may not be the biggest fan of some of the characters, I do think the voice actors do a very good job for the kind of limited amount of... I think the voice actors do a good job for the kind of limited amount of kind of screen time they get, if that makes sense. But yeah, basically, Navigators, they'll be a thing later in the series. And honestly, at some point, I do want to do 3, 4, and 5 on here, because honestly, I mean, realistically, hey, it gives me another excuse to replay Persona 3, 4, and 5, and I will happily do. And I will happily take any excuse to replay Persona 3, 4, and 5. Oh, but stairs were there, and I just walked right past them. Okay, we need to head on up to the 3rd floor. If I recall correctly, this place only has 3 floors. So let's see, what's going on in here? Men's staff room. Found the transmitter along with a riddle. So, we now have a transmitter and a riddle. Did you find it? Awesome! Great job, Tassia! Now let's destroy it. So we destroyed the transmitter in the locker. Cool! Cool, job done. Let's get out of here. Well, he seemed spooked, didn't he? Who was that? Seems odd that a normal person who hadn't yet evacuated would run off after seeing us like that. In that case, I bet he's a Masked Circle member who was guarding the transmitter. Come on, Tatia, let's get him. Valid. So let's see what everyone has to say if we go back in. That guy ran off the second he saw our faces. He's suspicious, alright. Alright, let's chase him down, Tatia. That guy, I feel like I've seen him somewhere. Well, after him, I guess. Was that guy a Masked Circle member too? Didn't he look kinda cool? Not nearly as cool as you, of course, Tatsuya. And Yukino. If that guy's in the Masked Circle, this is our chance to pump him for information about Joker. Let's hunt him down. Okay, off we go. Okay, I say that. I know exactly where he's gone, because obviously, you know, played the game before. And does it... Oh, I think everyone must... Yeah, everyone just has the same dialogue. Yeah, everyone just says the same things. Okay, off we go. Because once again, I do want to double check. I just want to kind of go around the outside of the place, make sure that I'm not missing any items, and then I can make my way all the way back around and we can finish off this dungeon. Because, as it turns out, Gould is quite a short area. It is quite a short section of the game. It's not exactly a large... it's not exactly a large dungeon, and it's not exactly a particularly challenging one. Although, to be fair, I feel like... I mean, I say it's not a particularly challenging one, but also I've said for most of the game so far, yeah, Innocent Sin is the easiest game in the series. And I'm not lying, it 100% is the easiest game in the series. Or at least I think it is. Because, you know, difficulty is subjective. What I find easy could be extremely difficult for some people. What I find extremely difficult could be extremely easy for some people. And honestly, I think that's one of the interesting things about difficulty. And also, obviously, you know, sometimes... Because sometimes you also have the degree of mastery of a thing. It's like, hey, I've played through this game multiple times. So something that initially would have been quite difficult is now, you know, maybe a little bit on the easy side. I feel like you quite often see that with people playing Dark Souls and stuff for the first time. Like, they'll play Dark Souls and then, you know, say something's difficult. And then you'll have the people who are like, yeah, I've played through the game 12 times, it's actually really easy. It's like, yeah, of course it's easy, you've beaten the game 12 times. Also, that was not meant as a dig at fans of the Souls games. Just want to get that out there right now. I'll put 2 points into luck and 1 into strength. Like, I didn't mean that as a dig at fans of the Souls games. I just feel like it happens a lot. And, you know, since the Souls games have kind of become, I guess, shorthand for difficult game over the last decade or so, it kind of just, you know, fit as a good kind of default go-to coverall for it. Okay, so let's hopefully get through this fight without too much hassle. And hopefully the game will be kind of friendly. I should use Frey, actually. That would make a lot more sense. I'll do that next turn. I'll switch to using Frey, because I have 2 personas that have it. I have multiple personas that have Frey, and it hits everyone. So I should just do that, because it'll be a lot easier for me. Which will always be nice to have. And I can have Akichi switch back to using Hell, because I forgot to switch him back to using it. Which isn't exactly my smartest move. And let's just go for Magnara, that will be fine. That probably finishes off all these enemies this turn. But yeah, I feel like Innocent Sin is the easiest game in the series. And funnily enough, I think Eternal Punishment is on the harder side of the Persona games. Obviously, I'd need to kind of... here's the thing, I don't have the patience to sit and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back to back to back to back to back. But I would quite like to kind of run through and just kind of see how many times do I die in each one. I think the one I've died in the most... I feel like the one I've died in the most was... Okay, we found an all card. I want to say it was FES. I feel like P3 FES was definitely the game I've died in the most. Mostly just because FES was... I mean, FES was kind of tough. Partially, you know, it has gameplay mechanics and stuff that I was still trying to learn. And also, I will admit, when I first played FES, I had more than a good few deaths due to my own hubris. Basically, I'd go in... Pretty much, you know, in Persona 3 FES, you have a kind of exhaustion mechanic, where if you go into Tartarus and you grind for too long, eventually you'll get tired. And pretty much, I would do that, eventually all of my party members would get tired, and I would go, yeah, but I can do 1 or 2 more levels, and I would just go in basically by myself, and, you know, shenanigans would occur. I'd miss 1 attack, fall over, like, I would miss 1 attack, fall over, then, you know, in FES, you take your turn to get back up, and then that would kind of just loop, and eventually I would die. I think I died a good few times in FES because of that. Was it completely avoidable? Oh, absolutely. Like, those deaths were 100% my fault. And then there's a couple of, like, actually really challenging things. But also, at the same time, then going through and reload, I was kind of prepared for them, so I definitely didn't really die all that much. And also, reload is just generally a lot simpler, because you have, you know, plenty of quality of life changes and stuff. Because, again, that game did come out, what, like 18 years after its original release. Honestly, at some point I do kind of want to try playing the original Persona 3. Because I've never played Vanilla, I've only played FES. I've only played FES and Reload. But here's the thing, I own P3P. Like, I physically have Persona 3 Portable. I just don't have a working PSP to play it on. So, you know, I can't really play it. By that, I mean, I have a functioning PSP. It's just kind of inconvenient because, one, you know, the battery for the PSP is a problem. Also, check your PSP batteries if you haven't. But the issue is basically the X button kind of got jammed down. And now it's just kind of a pain to work with, so I never use the PSP for anything. And also, I could just, you know, I could also just play all the games that I have on an emulator and just go, hey, what if I had a speed up button to get through the annoying parts? Or all of the grinding. Now then, I don't think I actually need to do anything here, because I'm relatively certain that there isn't a boss in here, but I'm gonna heal just in case. Yeah, you are. Why do you run after seeing us? You're in the masked circle, huh? Run away? You've got the wrong idea. I just wanted to go somewhere quiet where I could talk to you in private. How considerate of you. If you behave yourself and answer our questions, this should be a short chat. Ah, me. Brave lady, would that we had met in different circumstances. But I must accept this as my fate. I'm under orders from our queen. You will all die here. Lala, you're still here? Honey? I'm so glad to see you again. Not a day went by that I didn't think of you. Panic creep. Now that I found you, you're a dead man. This is for all the wedding funds you stole. Okay, off they go. I had no idea Lala was a Persona user. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Who knows what girls a beautiful matin like me has wrought tears from. We should both be careful, Tatsuya. So then, Tatsuya, what kind of riddle did we get this time? I'll be waiting at the Aerospace Museum in Konan. King Leo. It's not a riddle. The next target is written here, plain as day. I don't like this at all. We're dealing with King Leo here. Couldn't it be another trap? Even if it is, the location is written pretty clearly here. He wants to settle things with us too. Now's not the time to be scared. I won't run. Not anymore. Let's go, guys. I made a mistake. I have done this entire dungeon and I didn't do the sweepstakes. That's inconvenient, but okay. So I guess what I'm gonna do is end off today's episode here. I'll end off today's episode here, and next time we're going to the Aerospace Museum. The Aerospace Museum is down here, so we'll be doing that next time. I might go and get some armor and weapons and stuff in between episodes, but who knows? I haven't decided on that yet. I might just go right in and see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to end off today's episode here. As always, feel free to leave I should have a one-off tomorrow because Sly should have finished yesterday, and Persona will be continuing on Friday, where we'll be taking on the Aerospace Museum. So, I'm going to end off today's episode here. As always, feel free to leave a comment or click any of the buttons down below if you feel so inclined, and I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow for some video that I haven't decided on yet, or Friday for more Persona. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.